we have an ex-official of the institute in our midst, Architect LAF. You're welcome, sir. Our speakers are also here with us. They've been here since Tuesday night. Some people came Wednesday morning. Thank you very much. We are very happy and delighted to have you. Let's give them a round of applause. Without wasting any time, I'll call on the chairman of the institute to give us a quick speech. Mr. Chairman, sir.
Good morning, friends. A pleasure to have you here today as the program comes to an end. On Wednesday that we started, we are all charged to the theme of the conference. Yesterday we continued with Profit Solutions, and today we are here with our artisans. Like we were advised, we also need to begin to work together with them while we begin to work on our own design and also teach them how to understand our own design. Today we will have our speakers. Rosemary is also going to help to tell us what's been happening in Ghana. We're also going to have Morenike, who is also going to tell us how she uses arts to promote social housing and social welfare. I will employ all of us to pay attention, employ all of us to take out time to listen to the solution we have today. And after this morning session, we're going to have an afternoon session. Sheung Oduwole is here. He's an architect. He's going to take us on business development. And also we have Sam Obo, who is also going to be here. We're also going to have AGC class that will teach us how to use glass and how to determine the kind of glass we need for our project. I welcome you, all of you. I welcome you all here this morning, and I pray that the good Lord will continue to bless us. Thank you and welcome.
Everyone again, and thank you for coming. We would like to ask the chairman of the morning session, Architect Tayo Babalaki, fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, to please come and present the address. But before that, can we please have all speakers for today come and join us at the high table, please? Thank you. So can we please now have the address from the chairman for the morning session? Please, can we give him a round of applause?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I think that would first of all cover everybody that is here, because I think we're all ladies and we're all gentlemen. But as protocol will allow it, we still need to recognize some people, especially the Lagos State executives, which is led by the chairman, Architect Fitzgerald Umar, who have put all this together today, which since Wednesday, we started the Lagos Architects Forum 9.0. Something that just started at 1 is now 9. So many ideas have come in place, and I'm really appreciative of all your efforts and your drive and passion to lift up the profession of architecture. And I think Lagos as one, as a whole, Nigeria is always setting the pace. So I want to give you a good kudos for that. Please, kindly give him a round of applause, please. Well, today is just another session, morning session, which we're going to have. And I've been briefed that we're going to talk about sustainability, which is a major topic. As you are aware that the UNDP, along with all the nations have decided to develop the 7 developmental goals, 17, sorry, in 2015 December, and has a 2030 agenda for those goals. And those goals impact on every one of us, and as much as possible, for we architects are professional in the construction industry, the level of sustainability that we need to achieve in all our design considerations and developments is very, very important. Usually you have that they talk about sustainability is the balance of the 3 E's. That's to do with the environment, economy, and the social equity. We must be able to ensure that we'll get our environment, using our environment properly in terms of ensuring that we meet all the conditions that will ensure very good equitable use of materials and natural forces, wind, solar, water usage and all that. These are things that you're going to see, I believe our speakers are going to do today. And then the social aspect of it, which is very important. We got to balance our social conditions in respect of how we are able to recycle things, use materials properly and appropriately, reduce our household energy. I mean, because that's one of the problems that we have in the whole world now. So I believe the speakers will touch on all this, and we'll be able to have a good breadth of an idea of what sustainability is all about. I want to please try and give them all the required support as well as attention, and we'll take up questions and we'll coordinate the affairs as we go ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Dear ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Ardi Schenau. I'm working for the company Q Railing from Germany. Myself, I am from the Netherlands. Thank you, Mark. This to give me this opportunity to tell you something about risks of non-certified and non-tested glass balustrades. Show you also the new developments in glass balustrades in Q Railing. I would like to start off with a video of an accident which happened recently in Kuwait. If you are not awake yet, you will be awake after seeing this video. In this video, or in this accident, where quite a few people fell down because of a collapsing glass balustrade, fortunately nobody died. In slow motion you can see again what happened. Just to be clear, but you know, this could happen totally different when this was on a higher floor. So please raise your hands and show me how many people are designing glass balustrades, architects, please. Thank you. Well, then I have to speak to you, I think. So yeah. We as Q Railing, we offer, of course, our support to these maintenance crew of that stadium in Kuwait. I myself visited the stadium after this accident. Unfortunately, they didn't let me talk to the responsible people. I think it has something to do with Proud. I'm not sure. But anyway, it was still in the process. Because we want to help them. And we want to show them what the causes of this problem. Anyway, I have found out what the cause was. These are dangerous ways of designing and installing a glass balustrade. So I'm gonna stand here and show you something. Because here you can see it's a steel profile where the glass is inserted. with a very thin line of silicon. That's it. On this side, which is also happening, a lot of times, also here in Nigeria, as I'm aware of, the construction company is just making a sleeve or a groove in the concrete, and they just put in the glass, fill it up with an epoxy or with cement or whatsoever. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not working. This is dangerous, because if there is a tension or a force, a line load force or an impact on top of the glass will break here, and then you might have the same situation as what you just saw in that video. So I'm just warning you. So basically, what I'm saying here is that you should prevent contact between the glass and steel or concrete. And glass always needs a little bit of movement, deflection. Enough to take the forces, but not too much to give the user an unsafe feeling. And we in Q Railing do it different. Can you start the video? So here you see an impact test in our test facility in Germany. What we do daily. There is a wheel of 50 kilograms hanging up, and it's going to be released on a very small profile and a piece of glass. That is how safe our systems are, because we use aluminum systems, which has a little bit of flexibility. We use laminated toughened glass, which was, by the way, also used in the stadium in Kuwait, fortunately, because otherwise it would have been more difficult. But our systems are... Is there a pointer on this one? Is there a light? No. Okay, then I have to go to the screen again. So all of our glass is fixed with a safety wedge system in the aluminum profile and protected with rubber set on top here. And even when it is embedded, we use the same system, of course. So please don't use epoxy, don't use cement. Although it might be a little bit cheaper, use this. And plus, a very important thing, when a glass panel breaks, this way, it is very easy to replace the glass panel. When you use epoxy or cement, it's a very dirty job, which takes a long time to replace that glass panel. So, we are a market leader in certified balustrade systems according to the highest standards worldwide. So we cover all the standards and the building codes. And yesterday, unfortunately, I didn't have the possibility to join that meeting or that session in that corner in the afternoon, because that was about building codes. I think really that also in Nigeria it is time to think and to discuss possibilities setting your own building codes in terms of glass railings or handrails. Whenever you are guys, you're going to do that, I'm the one who would like to support you in that. Just giving our ideas and experience. So, this was very technical information. Now I'm going to show you the latest developments on glass systems very quickly, because I'm running out of time, I think. This is the Easy Glass Up. It's a lightweight base profile aluminum, highly cost effective because it's very small, and used for on parapet walls. It resists linear line loads up to 1 kilonewton with only 2 × 8mm glass and up to 7mm. And also for the installation crews, very important, the installation is done from the inside. So scaffolding is not needed anymore. Scaffolding is expensive, takes a lot of time. Everything is done from the inside. Here you can see another result. Easy Glass Slim. Economical solution with a slim aluminum base sheet. Lightweight. We have it in top mount F, and fascia for all situations. We have the solution for you. Glass range from 12 up to 2 × 10. And resists linear line loads up to 2 kilonewton according to the highest standards. Very, very strong. Here you can see lots of people in a shopping mall leaning on that balustrade, and I can tell you it's very strong. No problem. EasyGlass Smart. This is our groundbreaking new system with the fastest installation ever. And you can also use less anchors, so it will be cheaper. Also due to the speed of installation, the installing company and the contracting company can reduce its price. And it's very strong because it can resist line load forces up to 3 kilonewton. 3 kilonewton, that's 300 kilo per meter, ladies and gentlemen. It's a baby elephant. A short video how the installation works with Q-disc. Plastic inlays every 250 millimeters. A rubber on the inside. There goes the glass inside the profile. And then we have something revolutionary, the Q-disc. It clicks in, and just with a simple tool, which you're going to see now, with that simple tool, you just turn the disc, and that's it. This is how we fix our glass. Very safe, very fast. Everybody can do it on a very safe way and a precise way. Here you see an end result. EasyGlass Pro, I'm coming to the end. Glass fixation by adjustable safety wedges, ideal for top glass balustrades if you don't like a handrail on top. Here you see one with handrail, also able to curve for curved glass, or even insert with LED lights. And the last one is EasyGlass Max, the strongest glass railing ever. This is designed for stadiums, for shopping malls, everywhere where is a high crowd, then we advise to use EasyGlass Max. Why? Because it resists over 4.5 kilonewton per meter. Extremely safe. Here you see one of the stadiums we did. For you architects, visit our website, because we are there to help you, to support you. On our website you can download BIM models, CAD drawings, certificates, statistical calculations, anything what you need. Even specification text, just copy-paste. Very easy for you. Thank you very much for your attention, and maybe you have some questions. I'd like to answer them, or at least try.
Thank you very much. We'll visit your booth.
Our booth is at A40, if I'm not mistaken, A40, correct? Thank you. All the way there in the corner.
Thank you, Q Railings. Thank you for everything.
Let's come up so we can prepare. We would also like to acknowledge the presence and ask to join the high table, the presence of architect Lamri Olushola, who is ex officio the Nigerian Institute of Architects and public relations officer of the Association of Professional Bodies Nigeria. Please, can you join us at the high table? Thank you. We would also ask for the presence of architect Bimbo Ajayi, who is the immediate past Honorary General Secretary for the Nigerian Institute of Architects, and LAF is actually her brainchild. Could you please join us at the high table? We'll also ask for the presence of the President of the Building Collapse Prevention Guild, Architect George Akinola, to please join us at the high table. Okay. Are we ready for drywall systems?
Well, before drywall systems come up, we have some special guests, Professional Carpenters and Furniture Association. If you're here, please just wave your hands up for them to notice that you're here. Thank you for coming.
ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Wale Ogumbe. I'm the MD of Drywall Systems. And Drywall Systems as the name implies, it's a specialist company involved with the deployment of dry construction technology, components and solutions. And I will quickly take us through some of our activities to shed light on what we do. First, we are into roofing solution. And under this, we provide ultralight roof trusses, that's galvanized roof trusses, and then asphalt supreme shingles. And the other part of our core service is the dry construction systems itself. Here, these are components of the building systems that we ceiling solution, internal and external partitions, facades, cladding, suspended floors, and in the complete building systems, and other specialized services, which is under the roofing solution, ultralight, like I mentioned, and asphalt shingles. These are projects of ultralight trusses that we do for various, irrespective of the roof covering. This is intended to be a better replacement of timber and not through steel. Non-corrosive, fast to install, lightweight, and the support. These are some of the benefits: pest and termite resistance, non-combustible, and environmentally friendly. The projects are very fast. You save as much as 60% of time. These are some projects at various places. You can see this in particular. This about a 20-meter clear span, and that's the trusses on it. And then the asphalt supreme shingles. This is a uniquely different, functional and beautiful roof to use. And this roof comes in 4 models. We have the Masters, Gothic, Mosaic, and Standard. The unique thing about these shingles is the fact that the granule stones are natural crushed stones. So usually that means the color don't change. It continues to maintain that color because they are natural stones. These are the 4 models. And let's see a few of the projects we've done. These are some of the projects we've done on it. These are few, this Mosaic, and then that's Gothic. Comes in various colors. We have 4 models and 8 different colors presently. These are some projects. Here we work with one of our own architects here, Agrams Limited, where we are doing 53 units of chalets in different colors. Again, you see the Mosaic, application of the project in Ekiti State. Yeah, well, that's a bit about the roofing systems. Now back to the core services, dry construction systems. Ceiling solution, partitions. Let's see them one after the other. Here you see the area of ceiling projects here. These are a bit complicated shape that you will not readily achieve with some other solution. But with this system, you can achieve that. Here again, we work with Matrix, one of our own architects. Here, you can see the finished product on one side. All in dry construction systems. Here, these are small residential projects. Here again, we work with some of our architects here. Delano Architects. This is a job project in dry construction systems. It saves times. And then you can see the external overhanging roof there. Simple and small, but it's done in dry construction systems. Again, we talk of internal and external partition systems. Here we have the advantage of acoustic properties with our system. We have solution for both internal and external. Here we can see internal partition in dry walls. We achieve as much as 46, 40, even 50 something decibel with our internal partition. And then we have the external. Again, we can see some of the projects we've done. Here it's a hotel. We're working with Ama Consult, where all the rooms are, demarcated using our system. And then we can control noise, airborne noise from one room to the other. Again, here we work with ABDT. This is a factory where we have generator sets on one side and office complex on the other side. we need to insulate the existing one to create an acoustic environment so that the people occupying the offices will work, with minimal disturbance. Again, this system is appropriate for cladding, and this is the part I really want to emphasize a bit. This system affords us the opportunity of, whatever, and that's the finished product. Look at the modules on the facade. Those modules are 300 by 1200. Most other facades limit the architect's design. Most times compared to work with certain modules, 600 by 600, 1200 by. But with this, whatever you conceive, even if you want hexagonal shape for your modules, the system can achieve. And again, it gives you the opportunity of repainting and maintaining. I have a friend who said to me sometime last week that there's a project he did. He used composite aluminum, and each time he passes and notice some changes on the aluminum composite, he feels he could do something. But because it's aluminum composite, the only thing he could do is to remove everything. But with this system, you could change the paint, you could repaint, you could change your color brand, and it affords you a lot of flexibility. And that's it. Again, this is an airport angle. Like I said, the system has good acoustic properties. In this particular angle, the solution is this. We do the angle, the construction, and that's the finish, put styling on it. The whole of that exercise was done in 4 days. So it affords you the problem of form work, putting columns and stuff like that for so long. Again, this is one again in Ondo State. It's an existing building. We have to do a 95 square meter of floor, all within a week. We did that. And that's the underneath. That's the finished floor. All you have to do now is put a floor finish on it. The building on the left, on the right, is the corporate head office of drywall systems. The entire floor is in dry construction systems. And you can see one in that building. Again, like I said, the system, you can build complete building systems. You've done the ceiling, windows, ceiling, partition, external, internal, and floors, which means we deliver buildings. Look at that frame on the side. That's the boarded structure, and that's the completed structure. 2 of this was done under 2 weeks, recently, from one of the churches. You can see some bungalows here, 12 of them, done within 10 weeks, good acoustic properties. The catchment in this particular project was, it's a factory, a very big factory, and they needed these services to accommodate the expatriate engineers on the project, and they want less noise from the running equipment. So we had to deploy this. In 10 weeks, we did 12 units of this. This is a church that was sealed off by Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency because of noise pollution in the GRA. Then we had to deploy our system. That's during construction, and that's the finished system. You can see the internal and the external. Now it's a 2,000 capacity church, fully utilized, with little or no disturbance to the neighborhood. Specialized applications, sidings. We didn't do this whole building, cabinets and interior. Here we work with the ABDT. We know that every new system requires capacity for deployment. To that, our fellow professionals, on the system and how it works to ensure that we're able to deliver quality service and efficiently. We do a complete solution. We don't sell products. We install completely. Behind every management, every organization, there are people behind it. The first person there is our chairman, who was the chairman of Nigeria for a couple of years. The next person is myself. I'm the MD. I've served at various capacity and trained in dry construction too. The third man is an architect who has done nothing other than dry construction since he started practice. And then we have an expatriate partner who is also a dry construction specialist. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Drywall System. You can also visit their booths downstairs at... Tell us your booth number.
A16.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have brochures and other... A6, I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
Building Collapse Prevention Guild. Please join me in welcoming Architect George Akinola.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I say special good morning to all the BCPG professionals here present. Good morning, Mr. President. All the BCPG artisans here present. BCPG is an organization that is the baby of all professionals in the built environment. By professionals in the built environment, I mean architects, builders, town planners, engineers, all the branches of engineering, quantity surveyors, estate valuers, and land surveyors, and the artisans. By artisans, I'm referring to carpenters, bricklayers, block molders, steel workers, iron benders, let me talk about electricians, concrete casters, and so on and so forth. Our people are all over the whole place, and we want to say a special thank you to the Lagos Architects Forum organizers, Nigeria Institute of Architects Lagos State Chapter, that has made it a point of duty every year that this event happens to ensure that all professionals in the built environment are congregated in this hall to celebrate construction activities, to celebrate the built environment, and to ensure that all our artisans too are recognized. Because as professionals, no matter what we do, if we don't have good and high quality artisans, there is no way we can produce the quality structures to make the built environment the beauty that it is today. So we recognize the artisans, we appreciate you, and we encourage you to continue to build the synergy that you be building with your professionals. Without the professional input, if you say you are an architect, if you say you are a builder and you are just a bricklayer, and architects too cannot start casting concrete, even though I've done it on one of my sites before. You know, when all the concrete casters decided to just lay down tools, they said I should increase their money. They asked for an increase 3 times. The third time I just couldn't go, so I just yanked up my tie and they will start carrying concrete. But then, it's not my job. So, the man share to might expect good results. We cannot continue to do and we cannot continue to carry out other people's jobs that's not our core competence, and expect to have a good and productive environment. Building Collapse Prevention Guild has started extending to the various states. Very soon we shall be opening in Rivers State, a chapter of BCPG in Rivers State. We shall be opening a chapter of BCPG in Ekiti State, opening in Ondo State, in Ogun State, in Bayelsa State, and Abuja. Because we have to carry the evangelism forward beyond the urban area of Lagos State and the rural areas of Lagos State. We are presently in the 57 local governments of Lagos State. We build our cells. Cells operate all over the whole place. And what do we mean by cells? A cell is comprised of all the architects, engineers, builders, and so on and so forth in that particular locality who are resident there or are practicing their professions there. So for every local government, you have the full complement of the built environment professionals. And they are there constantly working, moving around, checking all buildings and building activity, and reporting anywhere they see discrepancies, so that we can reduce the incidences of building collapse in Nigeria to the barest minimum. Anywhere you travel all over the world, they look at where you say you are Nigerian, and they say, you are Nigerian. That's why the buildings are falling down every day, like Bangladesh. That's terrible. For you to be ranked at the same level as Bangladesh, that's terrible. Bangladesh is around the third poorest countries in the world. And our buildings are falling down every day. It's a serious indictment to us, the professionals. So now that's what BCPG wants to address. Lastly, there is the Architects Intervention Program that NIA Lagos State Chapter has been championing. The Architects Intervention Program seeks to ensure that it's only the people that are trained to build that build. Only the professionals that went to school to learn how to do construction, how to design, how to do costing, how to do land survey, and so on and so forth, are the ones in the profession. Not interlopers, not quacks, not people who are from other professions usurping our profession. Number one. Number two, to ensure that architects are properly, and by this time, by the professionals I mean, architects are not the allied professionals, that we are properly remunerated for all our efforts. You will be surprised to know that professionals in the built environment are not doing up to 10% of the construction activities you are seeing all over the whole place. So where is the money going? Who's getting paid for our work? So it's important that we have to take charge of the industry, and that's what the Architects Intervention Program, which BCPG has adopted to be professionals intervention program, such that whatever it is that all of us want in the profession, in the industry, is what will happen. So BCPG is carrying on that campaign of the Architects Intervention Program into the BCPG fold to mean Professionals Intervention Program. We will get a lot of revenue for Lagos State and all the states where we operate. At the same time, the professionals will be properly remunerated. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to the Lagos Architects Forum. 9th edition, Abi? 10th edition. 9th edition. 9th edition. 9.0, yes. And gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wa nílé lóko, lábúlé àti nílùú tó wá láti gbèríko, Ẹ̀pẹ́, Ìkòròdú, Badagry, carpenters, block molders, steel workers, and so on and so forth. Gbogbo yín a kí yín káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yìí o. A máa ṣe ìpàdé tiwa lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan. I know most of you are very educated o. I'm just trying to move on. You know, because the carpenter, the head of the carpenters called me this morning, and he was blowing the kind of English that I don't even understand. So I appreciate all of you. God bless you all. You are welcome here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. President of the Institute. Let's give him a round of applause. Amongst us are the Association of Nigerian Welders. You can see them gorgeously robed. Please stand up and wave your hand for recognition. Nigerian Welders, thank you for coming. Quick information, our free Wi-Fi is still up for today, and the Wi-Fi ban is LAF 2018. The password for today is Lagos 9.03. Lagos 9.03. Lagos is capital. Case sensitive. Lagos is capital. So once you're on our free Wi-Fi, that means you have to visit our website www.nia-lagos.org. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. All our handles are at NIA Lagos. We have the hashtag. Tosin, what's the hashtag? Hashtag 2018 LAF. So if you take pictures of yourselves, you can do the hashtag 2018 LAF. We will see it there. Also, we have our apps running on iOS and on Android. You can download those apps on your phone, and then all the conference materials that we are having in this conference will be uploaded in those apps. So you can have your own copies without even coming to us. I think it's a new dawn for the chapter. Let us give NIA Lagos a round of applause. Freebies, freebies, freebies. We also have free medical checkup They are on the right side. Green Life are giving Green Life International. They are giving us free medical checkup today. So once you, at your own convenience, just stroll down there. It is free. Check up on your health. I can see a lot of elderly people looking healthy and strong. But this is an opportunity for you to also just check that everything is in order.
We should also mention the cards for going around the exhibition.
Thank you. We have some special cards. Once you register, they give you those cards. Yesterday's winner, I think he wasn't around, so we have kept it for him. And he should contact the secretariat. Once you visit all the booths, they have to sign on those cards for you. We know the signature. So some people were disqualified yesterday because we are seeing some funny signatures. We know the signatures. So once you go around any booth, tell them to sign your card so that you are eligible for the raffle draw later at the end of the day. Thank you.
We would also ask for the president of the Building Collapse Prevention Guild to please join us at the high table. Please give him a round of applause.
Finally, we got him.
So we have our first lecture of the day, which is going to be given by the partners of OOA. I'll just read out their bios so that we can familiarize ourselves with them before they present. We have Rosemary Othner, who studied architecture at the University of Technology in Graz, Austria, and at the University of Bath in the UK, and she graduated in 2000 with distinction. After university, she co-founded OOA Austria in 2003 and OOA Ghana in 2006. Rosemary specializes in project management and coordination, contract administration, programming, planning, and food services design. Her knowledge and understanding of both cultures, and being born and raised in Ghana by her family's construction company, her education and architectural practice in Austria, are all key factors for her successful collaboration with both local clients and partners, local and international clients and partners. Her partner, Akosua Obeng,
Let me help you. I got this. Akosua.
Akosua. She studied architecture at Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Ghana, and graduated in 2005. This on the construction of the Queen Mary Hospital in Roehampton. On her return to Accra, she joined OOA in June 2009. Born and raised in Ghana and educated in the international school system, Akosua has a connection and understanding to both Ghanaian and foreign cultures, which make her able to easily cooperate with local and international partners on projects. She specializes in project management coordination, contract administration, programming, planning, and specification. She also has a passion for sustainable architecture and makes presentations on behalf of OOA, including workshops all over Ghana. She also writes essays and articles on sustainable architecture and of her various projects. Please join me in welcoming both Akosua and Rosemary to give their presentation.
Hello. So we need 2 mics because we always do teamwork by Othner and Associates. So I'm going to call out for some Austrians because I know there are Austrian companies here, and I thought the best way to do it is to sing the national anthem just a little bit. I think that was the beginning. Okay, I've called you. You said that you wanted to listen to our presentation. So if you hear this was the call. You have a few seconds to come up here. Okay, thank you very much for having us here. And let me just work out the technique here. So if I want to slide on, I just hold one. Okay, I think we have got this. If I'm standing in your way, let me know. I'll be running up and down a little bit so not disturb your view. Okay.
Hello everyone, I'm Akosua Obeng, and today I'm here with Rosemary Othner, as you all know, and that is our partner Martin Otner in the picture. We are an architectural firm based in Ghana. We've been practicing since 2006, and today we want to share with you some of our experiences in trying to build sustainably in Ghana. We are members of the Green Building Council, and we are EDGE leaders. EDGE is an IFC tool for rating green buildings. We just want to show you some reference building that we have completed that you may be familiar with if you have been to Accra. We completed the Labadi Beach Hotel in 2008. They are our running customers, so we keep on going back to work with them.
Yeah, we have been at Labadi for a while now. We helped them to build up this conference center. We also refurbished 104 rooms and also put up a presidential suite, which consists of 64 rooms. And as I know, I heard that your president, when he mostly comes to Ghana, he takes the whole block. I am not sure who joins him, but we know he reserves 64 rooms when he comes, yeah.
Another reference project that we've completed that you might be familiar with is the Google offices in Accra. Google is an international brand, but we try to bring in a local touch by using local beads to sew the Google logo. Here we have a local entrepreneur who sewed in the logo one bead at a time.
Well, it all looks very easy, but it was a big challenge to find someone who could do that work. We didn't find any company who was ready to take the risk to sew the logo, and we insisted that every bead has to come from Ghana. And it was a little bit disappointing to see how much we had to go through to really identify and find local beads. We also tried to put in bamboo in its natural way, and I must say we are very excited that this is accepted very well from the staff from Google. And everywhere we try to just put in local materials as good as we can.
In this slide, you can see local timber used in a very natural way in their natural colors. Another reference project is the Oracle office that we completed 2 years ago. Oracle has a very strong brand identity, but we still try to bring in the local touch by using a local artist who did all the sculptures and art pieces that you see in the slides. The latest project that we completed is the Latter-day Saints Missionary Training Center, also in Accra. This building utilized a lot of tropical architecture, which is all part of the sustainability, building to your climate, long roof overhangs, shading devices, courtyard system.
And in this project, we even went through the challenge that when we thought that we could only save 2 trees, and during construction we noticed, well, if we just shifted it a little bit more to the south, we might save another tree. So we went through the torture, getting the contractor and the client to accept us to shift the whole building by a few centimeters or meters, yeah. But we got it through, and we are very proud of that. So we now have 3 trees in the courtyard instead of 2.
The interior, we used a lot of natural wood. Across what you saw before was a multi-purpose room. This is a dining area.
We're also very proud of it that, you know, we try to still introduce fans, ceiling fans. I think this is something for me what comes together with Africa. Because nowadays, I mean, we always design in a way thinking that everything is so perfect. We are going to have AC anyway, so why do I need a fan? But we think that is something very important to have in Africa, looking at also our energy problems. You know, we want to make sure that every room works. If a lot of things fails, you know, you want to make sure that basic principle, cross-ventilation is possible, and we made all this possible in this building.
This is one of our...
sorry, I'll fast it. Sorry about that.
So this is in every building we always try to have a special stair, and this was our special stair made out of steel and of course local wood. In terms of housing, we have experience with many housing units. We've done single, small units, multi-units, housing blocks. Building sustainably is to look to our tradition. Because we are in a third world country, we fall into the trap that the building must just be functional and easy to be built, and we think that that is economical. But we have found that that's not the case. We think it's economical, but it's not. Our new concept, or it's not new because we are looking to the past, that we are working with is small, simple, and local.
Because this is something we also found in the traditional building. That actually, if you look at it, they always build small, simple, and out of using local materials. So that's the basic of most of our projects.
So we are now we're come to take you through some reference buildings in which we use this small, simple, local principles. The first is the Malamata Clinic. It's a clinic in the middle of a government market. It's an existing clinic, and we added this small maternity unit.
The size of this structure is only 8 by 8 meters, by the way, but we still made sure that everything what was required was integrated.
So, with every building, we start with the climate, because we believe that every building must respond to the climate in which it is going to be built in. And also, the next thing that we think of is sustainability. So we consider PV, we consider solar hot water, appliances that use less water, because this is Africa. This is not just Lagos. We have a shortage of everything. Rainwater harvesting, a septic tank that is able to process the water so that we can use it for irrigation.
Although the whole thing is very small, right from the beginning, we make sure we integrate everything what will be required, starting from shelf, desks, storage area, just a complete complex thing, so that we don't, when we get into construction, we don't now start finding out that, oh, actually we need a desk here, we need to have a storage area, and that will just ruin the whole concept.
We also try to integrate local art and local fabrics into this clinic to bring a sense of place and identity. And of course, the local material, they always bring a strong sense of identity, because the wood that I find in my country, you may not find in your country. So when you design with what you have locally, it always brings something unique to your designs. Our next building is Pata for Two. It's slightly bigger than the clinic. It's a low-income house for young professionals, designed with local materials, and we hope will cost $25,000 or less. Again, climate is very important.
We also design it very compactly. It's only 55 square meters, but we also have a common flexible area which you could turn into a room or study or whatever you find necessary. We also use the, okay, now the video is starting, but you also see in the video that we actually give it a higher volume so that you get some extra space.
So this building is totally out of rammed earth and local.
Also, all the span in the building is considered to use the standard sizes and materials we have available in Ghana. So this is again the principle, you making it small, simple and local. So here the staircase is built into the furniture. We are fortunate that the client is Samatex. It's one of the leading sustainable sawmills in Ghana, which mainly just exports the wood.
The tragedy in Ghana, I don't know if the same in West Africa, most of the timber is exported instead of being used locally. Here you see the lightweight construction, the build-up of the wall. So the wall is built up in such a way that it reduces, because it's a lightweight material, our tropical heat does not pass through to go inside. And then the screens on the outside shade the glass from the sun.
So it's all a lightweight construction, what we managed to do with actual local artisans. Like I see we have many on board today. This white guide here is one, he was 70 years or is 70 years old, who we got down to help the local artisans to bring back what they actually have forgotten, how to work with wood and work out interesting detail.
We also used implemented rammed earth construction in this building. Here you see the rammed earth being poured into the formwork, and the formwork being removed, and the finished product.
Yeah, you know, because we know rammed earth and actually we know how to use it, we try to just use it in a modern way, and then we thought of the idea to get different sands which you can find in Accra. So that's the design which came out at the end.
The interiors also use local wood for the staircases. Everything in timber that you see is from Ghana and manufactured in Ghana by our local artisans. Our next project where the simple, small local concept was used is East Legon Lofts. It's 4 townhouses with open glass, the European look, but still traditional because all the glass is shaded and not exposed to the sunlight. Yes, you see the 4 townhouses are mixing.
So a little bit of image from inside. Again, you can see in our design that the ceiling fans turns up again. We made sure we have cross ventilation in case our power system fails. And then we make you have a really nice experience when you're living in such a, actually from the size, looking at the size we build in Ghana, this is actually like a tiny house, but it doesn't feel tiny. So everyone is amazed when we tell them the size of this buildings, that is actually small but it feels big, and I think that is what we as architects always have to try to achieve.
And our last project with simple, small, local is our most complex. This is the IFC World Bank building in Accra. This is an A-class office building. And here we have local timber from Western region for use for the sun shading. Also a courtyard system. This is a 100-year-old tree that we saw on the site, and we kept it. We gave the contractor a very big penalty if we lost this tree, so he was motivated to keep it. You can still see the local timber sun shading devices used all over the building. Again, climate is very, very important. The building must function within its locality. And so how the walls are detailed to prevent heat from going in and to prevent sunlight, direct sunlight from going into the glass openings are very important.
I mean, again, here the client thought we don't need to make the windows openable, and you know, we are IFC, we have money and this, and we told them, as you say, this is Lagos, we said this is Accra. You know, it can't happen, so we insisted, and we managed to get through that. We have actually openable windows, so in case there is power shortage, because we have UPS for the computer and so on, but that doesn't support the AC system. And fortunately we did that, because when we inaugurated, after some months, there were some issues, and they were happy to be able to open the windows.
Also, this building has the first and only green roof in Ghana. The green roof concept helps to insulate the building from direct sunlight from the top, and it also thank you very much, Othna Associates. That was a very presentation, which we would hope would be only 10 minutes. That will be given to us by Lucky Fibers Limited, Noble Carpets and Floors. Please, can we have the representative for Lucky Fibers Limited?
Architectural Forum 2018. My name is Modupe from IA, and I'm from Lucky Fibers Limited. Lucky Fibers Limited is actually a manufacturing company, and we are into provision of flooring solutions as well as the manufacturing of carpet, which is, we are part of the Telegram group of companies. I'm simply going to take you into our work. Before I take you into our work, let me quickly look at the agenda that we have for today. I'm briefly going to take a look at our background, our purpose, our evolution, our offering and partner, as well as our social impact. Our background. We are part of the Tolerant Group, and we've been in existence for almost 40 years. We've spanned over 6 countries as well as 3 continents. We actually engage in FMCG, infrastructure, manufacturing and distribution, as well as digital service. Our purpose is to trust. We have mutual respect for our clients. We are equally committed, and we also encourage, and as well as we are humble. This is a part of purpose of our work that we've been able to amass over the years. This is our factory. This is an area of our factory. We are actually located in Ikorodu in Turkey. We are an indigenous country. And over the years, we also have the privilege to take pride in our environment, in our factory. Now, let me take you into our environment and our factory. We have our in-house designers that give us the leverage to be able to customize and brand the carpet to meet your requirement in terms of your logo, your design, your color. Whatever it is you're looking at, we can always actualize it. Sorry, I think I'm going too fast. We also have state-of-the-art machineries where we extrude irons, as well as the weaving division. The weaving division is one of its kind in West Africa. We have the state-of-the-art machinery, which is years. We offer high traffic carpets for hotels, which could go anywhere to go in the lobby, the hotel rooms, the guest rooms, the banquet halls. For the corridors, we give high traffic carpet that have acoustic properties, because normally when you're in an indoor environment, walking down the corridors, you're meant to have a kind of like quiet, lovely times. This is a couple of some projects that we've had over the time past. These are a couple of hotels that we have the privilege to have been able to manufacture and brand with designs and logos. We also have the commercial carpet that goes for the offices, which are high traffic carpets. And at the same time, we could equally have some customized concepts. We could customize the carpet to meet your requirements. This is a couple of the jobs we've done. This carpet was customized to have relay tracks in an office building because we're the sponsor of Olympics. So they wanted to have the relay race and as well as the football pitch to be customized on the carpet. We also have part of our offering also includes the carpet grass, which could go anywhere, be it in hotels, outdoor. We call it the playground, to make it look very colorful as well as green. In addition to that, we also work with religious institutions to give customized carpet for mosques. And over the years, we were able to, for the schools, cafeterias, higher institutions, universities, we have all flooring. In addition to that, we equally also have the sport flooring, who could either be indoors or outdoors. They could be customized to meet your requirements. All these are pictures of sport flooring. Sport flooring. This is Army Barracks in Calabar. We also have the entrance, often we don't take cognizance of. Entrance mat helps in adding to the longevity as well as the lifespan of whatever flooring it is that you have existing. And given the past observation, we tend to notice that most corporate organizations or especially which in places where you tend to have tiles which are not easy to clean. These are a couple of pictures of an entrance mat, and we believe that you as architects and specifiers tend to specify most products. You need to take this into cognizance. I have the carpet tiles as well. In addition to that, we also have our social impact. Our social impact is actually our corporate social responsibility, which we give to the society. We try to give back to the society. And we have a foundation, which is known as the Tolerant Foundation. And basically what the Tolerant Foundation do is we give artificial limbs to people that have no limbs, either be legs or hands. They come in with crutches, and we try to help by giving some prosthetics to assist. And we've been working with a couple of hospitals and churches as well as mosques and some government establishments and bodies in order to achieve this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so very quickly we will have another product presentation by Equipment Hall. Please, do we have Equipment Hall here?
in our midst, it's a thing of joy to recognize the president of Chief BC Olatilo, a media specialist. You're welcome, sir. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Yes.
But specifically, I handle interactive screens. We're actually the OEM of the Wildby interactive screens, and our goal is to transform the way Africa works and learns. So even though we manufacture the screens, we've actually built solutions for both the business and education sectors. So we've been around since 2015. Some of the solutions that we've built around our boards tech-enhanced learning, so that's for the education space. Interactive telepresence, which essentially is video conferencing, but it also allows you to be able to interact with the other participants who are online with you. Then we also offer digital signage. That's not particularly interactive, but it's able to, like in a campus, you can have digital signage where you can see the WOW board. It comes in different sizes, 65, 75, 84. We actually have as large as a 98-inch screen. It's full HD. We have full HD versions, and we also have 4K. It's interactive in the sense that it's touch and pen enabled, so it's very much like your smartphone, where you drag and drop, zoom in, zoom out. You can do that on this screen. Also, it allows you to write and erase if you wish to do so. In fact, let me just demonstrate that real quick. So I can write on it and I can erase. Very intuitive and easy to use. My background is not really technology, so I can tell you firsthand that it's very, very easy to use. Not only does it allow you to, one person to work on it, but it allows many people to work on it. It's a 10-point write and also 20-point touch. This device actually has both an Android and a Windows system built into it. So whatever your preference is, if you want to work on an Android platform, you can do that. If you want to work on Windows, which is what I'm comfortable with, you can do that. And you can load any application that you have. It has embedded computing. Any application that you have on your laptop or any other device, you can actually load it on this and use it. It has multiple connection ports. So what it allows you to do is to be able to connect a wide range of devices. We're using a pointer here. You can connect a wireless keyboard and mouse. You can connect using HDMI, VGA, USB 3.0, 2.2, and so on and so forth. It also allows you to be able to connect with different devices wirelessly. So whether you're on iOS, Android, or any other platform, you can connect and project wirelessly. It's eco-friendly, and when I say that, what I mean is it's low power consumption and it also generates absolutely no heat. It comes with a minimum 2-year warranty. We're an African company, and primary focus is Africa. So we're not looking at America or any other region. We are on ground, and we offer first-class support. So I just want to talk briefly about, I knew my time was going to be short, and I like to depict things in pictures. So we actually have, for education, we deployed at the Riverbank School, which is part of the City of David. And you can see here what is so great about it. Because it's highly interactive, it actually supports different ways of learning, ways needed. Then in the boardroom, you can also use the screens. Basically what we do is that it's the same, pretty much same hardware, but there are different specifications. So if you want to upgrade to certain, like if you want an i7 or i5, you can do so. And these are some of the companies that we already have a solution in. So, and they are using it, and they're using it. In fact, MTN has it on every floor, in every boardroom at their headquarters, and in one of their other locations called Yellow Drum. So they're able to connect, they don't have to move people around, they can video conference and also interact like they were in the same room. And that's pretty much it. I also included some appendices. What we can do is, if you want this PowerPoint, what we can do is email it to you. If you leave your information at the equipment hall stand, you can have this PowerPoint for review later. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, equipment hall.
Stand number. What's our stand number?
So while they're coming, there's the afternoon sessions today they are loaded. We have Sean Oduwole talking about real estate business and architecture. We have Sam Obo taking writing winning proposals, and we have AGC glass, choosing the right glass for your building. So any one of those 3 syndicate classes you want to join, please start preparing your minds for that. And that should be for an hour and a half, and then we'll come back for the closing ceremony. Regency, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Distinguished guests. I was here yesterday. I thank you for the 10 minutes you gave me yesterday, and I'm taking another 10 minutes before you today. We were able to establish yesterday that paint is not just paint, because that is where most of us get it wrong. If you believe that paint is just paint, ask 4 Point Hotel. They needed to repaint the exterior of their building before their planned expenses, and they know how much it set them back in millions of naira. Now, I also established yesterday that when you are choosing your paint, the first 2 things you should look at, the principal reason why we paint is protection, then beautiful, just to beautify your building. Now we know that I would liken protecting your building to character, while I would liken the aesthetics to just being beautified. And we all know that protection is very, very key. After you have spent millions of naira putting your structure together, it is right for you to do the right thing. That is using the right paint at any point in time. You don't use paint that you're supposed to use in interior for exterior. And I will be showing you just that and the cost implication of the various paints you use. Now, for the purpose of our discussion today, I'll be taking 3 different products for our interior and the exterior, the Jota Shield Text Ultra. The phenolmastic iodine is an antibacterial and antifungal crack bridging paint. It can bridge crack of up to 1 millimeter. It has a superior coverage. It is used basically in the environment where there is high humidity, like your bedroom and your kitchen. The color is retained and the paint fights against every fungal growth and every bacteria that is possible. Now, in the hospital theater and also pharmaceutical areas, this paint is very good. It will make bacteria and fungus to stay away from your wall. Now, the phenolmastic iodine has been laboratory proven to use. You cannot just use an ordinary emulsion paint if your building is in a coastal area like Lekki, and that is why you have a lot of buildings with algae and fungi all over the place in the Lekki axis. These are all proven laboratory tests carried out in Singapore of all the kinds of bacteria that the phenolmastic iodine can fight against. Almost up to 100%, 99.9, all like that. While the other paints don't have those properties to fight against any microorganisms. Now we go to the lady design. The lady design is beautiful. It's an interior paint. It comes in 5 various luxurious metallic finish, which gives you the gold finish or the silver finish. You have the stylish square finish. You have the marble finish. You have the classic Roman finish, and you have the soft velvet finish. A touch of luxury on your walls, and it's very beautiful in hotels, restaurants, villas. The approximate cost, like we've given you the typical coating system: 2 portion of pottery, 2 fillers, then 3 finish coat. When you are able to do this, it will make your job, your wall to last long. And the approximate cost is about 6,500 to 10,500, depending on the particular one you are choosing per square meter. The Phenomastic Wonder Wall, this is just new from Jotun. It's an innovative paint featuring high quality luxury safe finish, strongly recommended for interior of high traffic areas like your kids' room, school, party hall, kitchens and living rooms. Once again, we give you the typical coating system: 1 putty, 2 filler, then 2 finish coat. At any point in time, any paint you apply, the finish coat should not be less than 2. It must be applied twice. But our painters play fast ones on off. They just apply the finish coat once and say it has covered the wall and they go away. Yes, it has covered it at that very moment. But you know that very soon, instead of paying your students' school fees, you'll be buying paint. The Jotashi Text Ultra. This is an exterior paint with a superior quality, flexible. This paint can actually be used on bridges. This is the paint that was used for the Eiffel Tower in France and the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. Once again, let me just go straight to the typical coating system: 2 putty, 1 filler, 2 finish coat. This paint has the ability to cover about 2.6 millimeter crack on your wall. So you don't have to call in a mason or to do another plastering, which will cost you more. This paint can handle that for you. And the approximate cost is about 5,800 to 6,000 per square meter. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Our stand is A18. In case I have run too fast during this presentation, you can come down and speak to us. We'll take time to explain every other details to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Regency Overseas. So we go on quickly to our next lecture for the day, which is being given by Renike on inequity associated with HIV infections, and build a body of evidence about addressing these issues. She is particularly passionate about this complex public health issue, and especially on the topic of disproportional infection rates in Africans. Recognized by the Canadian Parliament with a Canadian 150 pin by the Mayor and City of Edmonton for 40 Under 40 Award, and the Canadian Pharmaceutical Association Patient Care Achievement Award for Health Promotion. Morenike hopes to continue to positively impact lives of people around her as she strives towards her life's purpose towards social justice. Please join me in welcoming Morenike.
Thank you so much for very, very kind words. So while my presentation is loading, I will set my timer. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. So I will reintroduce myself. So I'm Morenike Eniola Omobonike Kumilola Abeke Fatima. That's me. Get it right, son.
With the accents.
Yes, so I have to represent Opa. Omowale, what's today? Okay. So my objective for my presentation today is to present conceptual frameworks around health, complexity theory, systems thinking, and to place the architect, as I understand the architect, in between all these conceptual frameworks. And also to attempt to inspire architects to greater heights. And so I learned the last non-architect speaker last year really gave you grief. So I'm going to try not to do that. I'm going to try to just be inspirational. As she mentioned, I started this foundation in Canada called the Ribbon Rouge Foundation. And the foundation exists to use arts for positive social change. And so we do these in a variety of interesting ways. We use arts for advocacy. We use arts for arts-based health research. We work with policymakers with our advocacy work, and even in really difficult, controversial issues around racism, for example, and how that manifests in housing and mixed income housing models. And so I'm hoping to bring some of that knowledge to you today. I want to try as much as possible to make this a very interactive situation where we're talking back. So feel free to clap, jump, dance, whatever moves you, or just talk back to me. But I don't want to just be downloading information one way. So my first question to you, I want to ask, what do you believe to be the biggest man-made structure in the world? Let's make it before the mechanical era. What do you believe to be the biggest? You can shout things out, whatever. The pyramids of Giza, that's a big one that most people think of. What do you think? What else could be the biggest man-made structure in the world? The Great Wall of China, I love it. The coffee. Mom, I got spoiled for me now. So the largest man-made structure in the world is actually the magnificent walls of Benin. So now this is a really interesting thing for me, because this is the largest man-made structure lengthwise, largest earthwork in the world. I calculated it, 1,210,000 football fields. Your soccer fields 1 million times. That was the city of Benin, right? It was 16,000 kilometers, 2,500 square miles. It was 4 times the Great Wall of China, about 100 times the pyramids of Cheops. Not quite that, I didn't calculate it for the pyramids of Giza. But 150 million hours went into this thing. And Benin, for me, now holds a tremendous amount of fascination, because the more I read about it, just the more intense I found the intellectual prowess of the people that built this empire. Because this empire was built in something called fractals. How many people here are familiar with fractals? I'm sure there's some mathematicians here. Okay, I see a hand there. So now when the Europeans got to Benin Empire, they just saw it as this disorganized thing, because fractals in mathematics didn't really become a popular thing until about the 20th century. You have some really popular theory, is that your inner world is projected into your outer world, into your built space. And that built space then affects your inner world. It's a bidirectional relationship. And so what then happens in Benin in the 17th century, a lot of historical accounts of no theft, wealth, industriousness, order, really organized society. And you can see this really reflected in their outer world. In the same 17th century in England, you have a lot of writers that are writing literature about theft, prostitution, and murder en masse. And I really believe that through inductive reasoning, something Albert Einstein was a fan of, that this is a case scenario of how your inner world gets, affects society and your law and order. Something's happened in my presentation, I'll go on. And so about 5 years ago, I experienced something that's really close to an identity crisis, where with all the privilege and resources I've been blessed with, I was now in a foreign country and starting to feel like, well, maybe black people are really dumber than white people. Like, because, well, why is it that the entire Africa was colonized except for Ethiopia? What's that about? Like, what is this? And I remember there was this epic argument with Sam over here, where, as usual, I'm going on about, well, the biggest signifier of your civilization is your architecture. And where the hell is African architecture? And then I'm of course looking at popular media for architecture in the Middle Ages in Africa. And what does it depict? All these mud houses with thatched roof and nothing that actually shows civilization. So I have this argument with Sam, and I'm so lucky because what Sam then does is he produces these 5 volumes of massive books that just completely throw my arguments into just rubbish at this point. Because what I see there is that some of the most impressive buildings in antiquity through the Iron Age, Middle Age, into the Renaissance are actually African architecture and filled with complexity in arts and identity. And this is really powerful because what I then start to see is that we have intellect and prowess and identity that somehow is just lost in our contemporary world. And it's so good that you now have conspiracy theories around alien architecture. Around, if you go online, there's people that claim the pyramids are built by aliens and ancient astronauts. It couldn't have been black people. And you know, the city of Atlantis that descends from the sky because black people just, you know, cannot be that advanced in the Middle Ages, right? So I started to learn these things, and I really enjoyed your presentation because it brings to light some of the issues that I've had just moving around Lagos, moving around Nigeria, and issues. I really like your picture that just shows how homogeneous a lot of these structures are and how dependent they are on international influence, at the expense of our authenticity, at the expense of something that really tries to go back into our history and bring that back forward and remind us of how powerful we actually are. And this is really important because then these children, we all grow up thinking that we don't actually have a connection to our roots in a way that's felt in our spaces that we move through on a daily basis. And so I'm going to go now into why this is really relevant. So in psychology, just to backtrack a bit, I'm someone that enjoys multidisciplinary thinking. So I'm a pharmacist that dabbles into psychology and sociology and architecture. And as in the lower socioeconomic classes, people are healthier when they're exposed to green spaces. And these are things that actually affect our health and well-being. There's reasons for this because in our middle brain, we have the hippocampus that actually connects your geometry around you to your inner world. And what I find fascinating then is the fact that it seems to me that a lot of architects don't consider psychology necessarily, don't necessarily collaborate with psychologists to look at the behavioral impact of what they are creating. And there are lots of examples in the US especially where there's studies that show what happens when you create a ghetto, what happens when you create featureless buildings. People start to steal and burgle and kill, and this is literally a direct impact of what you have built around them. And I think, even though I'm not sure, I don't think architects were involved in face me and face you situations, but face me and face you is pretty much ghetto, and it's pretty much a creation of situations for crime, like where you are literally telling people not to succeed. And just this combination of really ill-conceived spaces where psychologists and behavior is not considered. And so just before I leave this topic of psychology, there's this idea also that your spaces around you actually change your brain's morphology, change your brain's biology, so that urban living in the cities increases risks of mental health disorders, chronic anxiety, depression, even schizophrenia. All right. Okay, so I'm going to move on now to sociology and the idea of others and outsiders as part of the human experience. The concepts I'm going to introduce are positionality and reflexivity. I won't go into too much detail because that's a whole lecture. But what I'll say about sociology and the relationship to psychology is that we perceive your ethnicity, and these things influence the architects in ways that I'm not sure that architects consider, in that architects might not necessarily consider the power they have to exclude people. And we do this because we think it reduces our risk. So we think, oh, we're going to create these gated communities. Oh, the people at Makoko, they're an embarrassment to us, so let's just, demolish that. Or anything that looks like a slum or looks like an embarrassment to our society, instead of considering what is held in other perspectives, and how can the architect be an instrument of inclusion? How can the architect find solutions to security that includes people regardless of ethnicity or gender or class even? When we construct these buildings, do we consider ability and disability? Do we consider the motherhood and fatherhood? How do we apply equity lenses to what we are building so that it includes people? And so I was reading about the influence of foreigners over the years into African architecture, and one of the examples that stood out for me was in Southeast Nigeria. There's a lot of family mutual aid that was really common in how people lived together. And when we started to get influenced by Brazilian architecture, people started to get separated and isolated. And so we started to build these structures where the family and the interdependence and the interconnections of family in the project. And also the issue of identity, which I already mentioned, in that we need more spaces that actually show us how to be Nigerian, that show us how to be a collective that thinks together and then create spaces around ourselves that affect us that way as well, for that pro-national patriotic identity building. And currently what I see is very weak links between our history and what's around us. And very, very few places that are regional, the way you described it, where they've actually taken regionally sourced ideas into account in the creation of these buildings. I hope this works well. I don't think I can go through all of this. So I just wanted to quickly say, though, that architecture is positioned right in the middle of social determinants of health. So this is a framework from the World Health Organization. And it's this idea around how do people come to health. And people just assume, oh, if you eat your fruits, eat your food, take some vitamins, you'll be fine. There are so many things upstream, like way before you are born even, that affect how you turn out in your health. So the policies that are embraced by your country, the culture, the religions, the exclusion of people, discrimination of some people, those things affect how you end up turning out. Sometimes your gender affects how you turn out, or your sexuality. And in between this diagram, we have living conditions. So living conditions really is where architects come to play, because it's really an intermediary determinant. So the physical space around people, how environmental sustainability, which is something that also came up a lot in Othman and Othman's presentation, how that affects how you turn out. Something that I really worry about is that very soon the global south would be a source of mass migration patterns because of how badly we treat our environment. And what does that mean? When now the refugee status is not just war, it's climate change that's pushing you out of the country. And what is the architect's role in that situation? In Canada, there are now a bunch of net zero buildings, which essentially means that the energy that's needed for this building is completely created in this building. I know I've been to a few of those. I don't think I've ever seen any in an African context. So just considering that what architects do actually contributes to the welfare, well-being, and health of the country. Does anyone recognize this picture?
message you feel?
It's Wakanda. I'm like, how can I talk about African architecture and not put Wakanda? Everybody knows Wakanda, right? Come on, son. From Black Panther. Why is it Wakanda? I really enjoy the architecture in this movie because I think it really brings together what I'm trying to say. There's pluralism of style. There's a careful consideration of history, but not in a tokenistic, weird going on, where you have green space all over this thing, and this idea around, you know, conservation with solar energy, all in Wakanda. The only thing missing, I guess, are bicycles. I didn't really see any bicycles in there. But my point is we can create the kind of world we want to live in, and that in turn affects how we show up. Now to systems change. I'm 1 minute over, but I'll go 1 more minute. There's ideas around social innovation, and there's a lot of places where architects can innovate socially, in society, in culture, in production, education, environment, economy, organizations, and most of it involves the architect thinking beyond their traditional worldviews and actually looking at collaboration beyond the usual collaboration with consultants or other stakeholders that you're used to, like engineers and government or real estate. But looking at communities, like actually looking at people that are homeless and what does that complexity actually mean? And poverty, what does that complexity actually mean? People with health crisis, what does that mean? Who are the people that also need to be involved? Psychologists, neuroscientists. There's a really interesting place we went yesterday, Freedom Park, where these architects had taken initiative to recreate something that's really historical for us and really integral to our identity, in saying, don't forget this, don't turn away from this, remember that this happened to you in your country. What happens when an architect takes on a project in Benin and says, let's recreate a miniature version of Benin? I went to Benin 2 years ago. I was so heartbroken. We walked around this place, drove around looking for that wall. There's like one tiny picture that's a disgrace that I refuse to actually show you of what is left of this thing. And it's just, what does it mean when something that incredible is buried in your own country and it takes you 34 years to figure out something that incredible? Like, that's a problem. I really think that architects need to find interesting ways of collaboration that looks into our culture, looks into our heritage, looks into the urgent social problems in our country and finds ways to collaborate to solve them. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Monica. You see all the hard work you have done to put this together. I'll forgive you because there are some statements that I do not agree with. So we'll take this argument outside here. I want to believe we have a cultural heritage. And I'm sure Lagos State has. We have a tour tomorrow of Lagos Island. And that's... that's why you have to come to Lagos Island tomorrow.
The proportion is, yeah.
How many average Nigerians spend time chilling in Lagos Island?
You will be shocked.
What is the proportion?
180 million.
I love arguments, so I'm probably the worst person
I
to
think
do
it would
this
be
with.
best to do this with the chairman of the session at the end, because I think it would be a very interesting discussion for everyone.
Exactly.
Yes.
Chairman, sir, your round table is going to be very full.
Very hot.
Well, thank you, Morenike. Yes.
Dia Oye Damaido Emmanuel, that's my son's name. On behalf of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, Lagos chapter, and Lagos Architects Forum 9.0. I hereby present to you your award that was meritoriously won from your performance and activities and participation in the Lagos Architects Forum 9.0. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Let us give him a round of applause. It's not easy to visit 70, how many booths? 76 booths in a day. So there's a raffle draw after the closing ceremony today. The last and final prize. If it be you.
Please remember, it's not just to visit, it's to engage in dialogue and understand about the product.
So don't just jump in the booth and say, give me signature.
Okay, do we have sticker manufacturing present?
Okay, if they are not ready, can we have Kansai Plascon?
Can I have a round of applause for Kansai Plascon?
Kansai Plascon. We don't just do paints.
I think that's a lot. Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Akintube Jeje, representing Kansai Plascon. We are a world-class paint manufacturer. Very proud to carry the 100% made in Nigeria flag. I can take that same 1 liter and achieve 20 square meters if I just drop the thickness from 13 to 15 microns. So you see why you really shouldn't be asking suppliers, what's your spread rate? I'd rather, you'd like to hear that an architect is asking, what's your volume solids? You know, because with this you can, more or less gauge the quality of the product you're buying. So, next slide. This is a simple exercise that, if this is all you take today from this conference, then I believe we're well on our way to improving industry standards. Here are 2 products, one selling for 30 and the other selling for 10,000 naira. Okay, back to the thing where I get asked a lot, how much is 20 liters? And then right away an architect says to me that, oh, your product is 3 times more expensive than what I can get, out on the local market. But what he's not looking at is the volume solids on his cheaper products is so much lower than maybe his more expensive product, right? So when you work out the volume solids at the film thickness at which you should be applying, he ends up with a spread rate of, say, 2.6 meters per liter, compared to the other which gives you 13 square meters per liter. This is another reason why we should never ask how much do you sell 20 liters. Rather, like it's better actually for you to ask what's your price per square meter. Because you work both out and you see that with the more expensive product, you end up at 131 naira per square meter compared to the cheaper product, or the supposedly cheaper product that gives you 192 naira per square meter. So imagine you're painting 10,000 squares. You've just cost your company 600,000 naira. Imagine you're painting 20 or 30,000 squares. You do the math. You think you're saving money, but you're actually spending more. So yes, let's find out what the volume solids are. Let's look at the price per square meter and not just spread rates and 20 meter pack sizes. Next slide, please. So another thing we look at, another question we get is quality. I've been on sites and it's funny because you find a lot of times architects leave the decision making, or not architects rather, the asset owner leaves the decision making to, say, the painter on site. And I've been on sites where the painter lifts a drum of paint and goes, this is heavier, oh, they're quality, that type of thing. And you really can't determine the quality of a paint, paint by how heavy the drum is. Because basically your paint is made up of primarily 5 components: your pigments for color, extenders which give body to the paint, your binders that keeps it together, the water is the keeps your products in suspension, and the additives, which gives your paint the special features. You know, so that can make it either mosquito repellent like we've got, or increase the drying time, or make it antifungal, and all that type of stuff. So then again, you can see the volume solids on a high quality paint at maybe about 40%, and then your low quality at 15%. Ladies and gentlemen, you do not buy paint if you do not have a data sheet. Okay? The data sheet is a document that tells you exactly what's in the product. So you don't ask what's your spray rate, you look at the data sheet and you see the volume solids to determine that you're buying a good product. So here you see what happens when you use a cheap or a good quality versus a bad quality paint. One is basically less volume solids and a lot of water, 6 months. Okay. Just making this very quick. Yeah. So while we're particularly keen on feeding all of this information, the advancements in technology, because you sit in a very influential position within the contract chain, you're responsible for communicating this to the asset owner. Sometimes, in some cases, you are the asset owner. You're also responsible for sending out that information to the rest of the contract chain. And it's imperative that we give you this information. So you don't end up designing a building that looks like the Burj Khalifa and then end up with one of the here. But yeah. So this is what a typical specification looks like. This is a specification. This is what, like architect George said, the architects need to take charge within this contract chain. We're happy to sit with you, design specifications. We have different specifications if you're designing in a marine or C5 coastal environment. Typically, the paint system designed for coastal environments, say in South or in Lekki, urban area. This is why we design specifications. There you can see you've got your primers on there. Ladies and gentlemen, the primer is not your emulsion paint, thin down 10% water on the surface. The primer is designed to, we come in here and see that the salt content, the moisture, first of all, the sand to cement ratios are very wrong. You find a lot of people using 9:1 mixtures on their plaster. The cement you use on your plaster is also not right. A lot of people are using 42.5 grade cement for plaster work, which is more appropriate for concrete. And then your 32.5 grade cement should be used for plaster. So because of these issues, we're not going to tell you to tear down the building and rebuild. What we designed a primer to keep all of these moisture and salt migrating through your formwork and kicking off your paint. So that's it. These are some of the problems why we paint for protection. Fireproofing is something we need to start looking at. Then next, we paint for aesthetics, and the ladies can tell us a lot about this. The importance of surface preparation. Next slide. Yeah, this is how we add value to infrastructure, guys. One housing development at a time. Next. One public infrastructure at a time. This is Falmouth Bridge we did alongside the British Nigerian architects, Poly Alakija. Next slide. And I don't know if you've seen, this is the last slide, so I don't know if any of you have seen an FPSO, show of hands. Yeah, so this is a floating production storage and floating vessel. It's designed for the deep offshore. On this you can produce your
When he's not around, so I'm stepping in for him. I'm going to take you through all the products we represent at Silvoma Nigeria. Okay, let's start. Silvoma Nigeria Limited is a German, yes, Silvoma. Silvoma is a German word, yes. No, it's Silvoma. We've been in Nigeria since 1966, and then we represent different brands, top brands all over the world. One of the brands is fixture fixing. In fixture, we have screws, we have sealants, we have insulation foam, we have accessories for your facade, and then we have anchor chemicals for your anchoring. Then we have compressor. We also represent ABAC in Nigeria for your compressors. We have ABAC compressors in our company. Then we do cleaning equipment too. LAF is an Italian brand. We have sweepers, high-end. Then we have cable reel. I don't know. Most people go to Alaba. They buy all these extensions from Alaba. Within a day, they are gone. But we have this special brand too. Cable reels. We have extension. We have plugs. We have switches from Renes. Then we have our power tools, Makita. We represent Makita in Nigeria. Makita is a durable brand. Power tools from Japan. We have router. We have outdoor tools. We have concrete drilling machine. We have heavy breakers. And then we have different things in Simon. So they gave me 5 minutes, so people go around to share our flyers. Our booth is 825. And then we have raffle tickets, so you can come around and win prizes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for keeping to time. So I'd like to hand over to the chairman for the session, Architect Tayo Babalaki, Fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, to please start the discussions.
Or anything that they need to ask them, they could please interject and let us know. We have a very short time though. The chairman says I have 30 minutes, said 1:30, but we'll try and squeeze what we can. But I think going by the lectures we've had today and the presentation, we had a very first presentation with Utna, which talks about how they've been able to use local materials, and they have a slogan of making small, simple, and local. Yeah, which is very, very interesting. And they showed us a lot of products, some buildings that even used 90% of the materials were locally produced, which is quite impressive. And how they've used architecture as well to demonstrate the extent of inculcating sustainability. So I think Hotna is here. I think we'll be able to take that. And then Morenike on our side talked about the psychology and sociology of making sure that architects should think deeper than just thinking about product. They need to think more of the community of who they're going to build into, and how are they going to get them involved or make sure that their psychology or sociology of being is well taken care. So these are, I know that some architects do have some reservations in certain areas, but I think it's a good topic for us to take all together. So when you have your questions or contribution, each and everybody that is involved will then answer you, and then I will moderate. So the floor is open, and I can see our famous veteran broadcaster, and yes, he's here, Mr. BC Olatilo. Thank you very much, sir, for opening the floor. Thank you, sir.
By the way, let me say that I'm an illiterate, the only illiterate amongst you there, in terms of what we're doing here. I'm here to learn and even pass across the world. I say I'm really awed by the intellectual depth that you guys have put into this lecture that I'm watching here. And I think the world should get to know how professional we are in carrying out our professions. And I think you should put your hands together for yourselves and put this. And I said, I'm going to step the pavement down for this. It's going to get recordings of this, but to get it aired on all our platforms all over the world. Because you know the POS, you know 24 hours, and this and all that. But the question I want to ask is this. There's this argument about us still talking about our productions, local. What do we do about that? I've been everywhere, and when they say local, it's like we're bringing ourselves down. So what do we do about that? That's just the question I have.
You lost, sorry.
Using round earth, is that sourced locally, or do you have to import the laterite from long distances?
No, we use it locally, palace, and make it more different to the standard or the old traditional. We get different soil from the area and try to put then a story together why we chose these ones. Yeah.
I can imagine that's right. It's difficult to use round.
Yeah, actually you can use both.
I want to thank all the speakers today. Sorry. since the microphone is there, I just want to take advantage of this. I was intrigued by your green roof. I want to ask, is the grass real or synthetic? And then how do you drain it? Just before you answer that, I want to say that I really enjoyed your talk, but in my view, I think until we Nigerian architects